Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Sports Bets, but mostly chaos. I am Craig.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Benny.
I'm Jason.
And happy Wednesday. Do I have the day right, boys? I'm a little confused. It's been a short week with the holiday. We all didn't work Monday. We're doing the podcast, one day early. I'm not 100% sure what day it really is, but I just know that we're here and we're here to talk sports. And as usual, we got plenty that we want to get to. So, we usually cover here on the show. And we're going to throw things right to the NBA as the NBA Finals kicked off last night with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. So I won't play spoiler this time, boys. I'm just going to throw it right to you. I'll pretend like I have no idea what happened. So go ahead and tell me what happened in game one.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to go ahead, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So game one was really good, really close. Hey, sometimes I want to give Jason a chance to talk first. Okay, Ben?
People don't have all night. No.
Okay. You do your vodka Red Bulls. Yeah. So, like Craig said, game one of the NBA Finals kicked off last night. It was a pretty good game. Close at half, and then the third quarter, the Suns pulled away. The Bucks tried to make a comeback in the fourth, but fell a little bit short. So, yeah, the Suns won game one. Giannis played. He looked really good, which is that's a little bit of a worry for the Suns because you kind of were hoping that when his knee goes the opposite way, and then a week later looks like he's around 80, 85, 90% there. Now he gets 3 days off until the next game, or 2 days off. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, the Bucks showed really good grit that game, and I could see him come back and win game two. And then once he goes back to Milwaukee, who knows?
Yeah, I can see that happening too. I think the key of the series is honestly going to be Drew Holiday. If he plays well, I think the Bucks can win the series. I'm predicting that the Suns are going to win in 6. I think they're just on quite the roll right now with Booker and Paul back. 5, huh? All right.
What about the drunk guy? Suns in 4.
I just say how I'm just like is that guy's getting so much recognition, right? And it's really all because he got in that scuffle with those two what was it, Nuggets fans that he got into.
It's funny.
I don't think it wasn't the Nuggets. It was Clippers, I believe, right?
No, I think it was the Nuggets because it was the series before the last one,
right?
So
I guarantee if the Suns win it and they have a parade, he's going to be a part of it.
Dude, imagine if the Suns
apparently
sweep and they go and they win in 4.
I guarantee he'll be a part of it.
He'll be on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah,
I don't.
He will.
I mean, take it lightly here because I don't watch basketball, but I would say that there's not going to be a sweep in this one. So
no, I don't believe so either. But just imagine though.
But I'm with Jason. I think John said earlier today too off the show that I think he picked the Suns to probably win too, and I think that I would say I'd lean towards them winning this series for sure.
Yeah.
And Jay, based on Ben's nod, I think he totally agrees that the Suns probably got this thing. So we're all in the same boat here,
in the bag.
And now they're gonna lose.
I do disagree with you. I do disagree with you that Drew Holiday comes on Drew Holiday. I still think it comes out on Giannis and Chris Middleton between the two. Because Drew Holiday does have CP3 defense, so that's really tough. I mean, you see what CP3 does when he has Curry on him. So
right. I'm saying that because I think you're going to get the visual from Middleton and Giannis. If they get 15 to 20 from Drew, that's going to be tough for the Phoenix to match up with. So that's where I'm coming from. Is if Drew has a good game, Phoenix might be in trouble on some of those games.
Yeah, so and then with Phoenix, it's their bench guy, the 6-man Cam Johnson.
Yeah. If
he has a game like he has a Jordan Poole type of game, Milwaukee has no shot. If Phoenix can get something from their bench, and he's really the only bench guy, especially now that they lost Dario Saric for the rest of the series, right, towards ACL. Cam Johnson does what he does the last game. Puts in 17 points, I think it was. That's really tough for the Bucks to come back on.
Sure. And Phoenix's arena is rocking. Like it's one of the. I mean, granted, they haven't been to the playoffs in 10 years, so they got a lot of built up tension, energy, whatever you want to call it. So they're just losing their minds. But
Rally the Valley.
Yeah, it's tough place to play.
They got some
Yeah,
blue
but they
balls
haven't
over
seen
there.
anything like this in Steve Nash nor Maury Stoudemire's years.
Right, and even then they didn't make it that far. I mean, they made it to the playoffs.
They didn't
consistently. So,
yeah.
Wanted to touch on something really quick, Warriors related. Well, the offseason is going to start after this series is over, but I don't know if you guys caught it. Kelly Oubre was on a podcast and he said he felt like he didn't get a fair shake in Golden State, basically. And I'm thinking to myself, is this the same guy that like started 0 for 21 from 3 and started 55 games and then until he got hurt? And I'm like, come on, dude, you got a fair shake. You got hurt. I'm sorry. And they were on a roll when you came back. You got to, accept the role. And you're not he's a good player. I don't know if he's a difference maker, but
Oubre just sees himself as a starter, and he's a bit arrogant. He can't accept that. Hey, maybe you're better for this team in the 6-man role. Come off the bench with 3-4 minutes left in the first, and then you run the second group. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Look at Jordan Clarkson; he's made a career being the 6th man.
Lou Williams.
Lou Williams. Yeah. It's like there's nothing wrong with it. Not everyone's meant to be starters, and I think he's just very arrogant where he says he doesn't want to come off the bench. It's like, imagine if Iguodala was this way when Kerr first came over.
Well, he
imagine if that happened.
For a minute he didn't want to do it, but then he finally decided. And at the end of the day, as long if you start or finish, it doesn't matter. As long as your minutes are the same. If you're still getting 30 to 35 minutes a night, what difference does it make? I don't. So, but yeah, after this series is over, the NBA offseason will start, and then it'll be nuts like it always is every year. So, something to look forward to.
I'm seeing people doing sign and trades with Kelly Oubre, like sign him and then trade him to someone for someone. Like someone that I saw people mention is do a sign and trade for Duncan Robinson out of Miami.
Sure, he's a great shooter. I would love it, but at the same time, Kelly Oubre has to agree to do a sign and trade. So if he doesn't help the Warriors out, then it's a lost cause.
Yeah. For sure.
I have breaking
something
news.
I saw.
I have some breaking news.
It's not like Ben's paying attention.
We've got a final in Tampa Bay. The Lightning have defeated the Montreal Canadiens in Game 5 to clinch back-to-back Stanley Cups, as they have won 2 in a row, as they were able to eliminate Montreal tonight 4-1. And how quickly we have gone from Ben screaming and shouting Montreal's going to the cup to his head down and having another drink of his beverage. So also just double unfortunate for Ben, because in our little playoff pool, Ben finally has had his greatest pool he's ever had. He's rode Montreal all the way up to now, and he's been in first up until this point, but unfortunately he rode Montreal, I guess, a little bit too long. And the good thing for him is he's still cash. He still takes second place, so he still comes out with a little bit. But I guess he'll just have to stick to just rice without fresh veggies now, since he won't be able to afford the fresh veggies to add on to the rice.
No, that $20 is going straight to my gas tank.
Okay, or you could just go with the joke and make for better content, but that's fine. We can do that too. We can play that
Jerky
game.
on the win.
Yep, Jerky he was solid.
Goddamn,
a lot better than Praveen. That's for sure.
Well, all right. Yep. He did beat Praveen out, so he'll always have that. So sorry, boys. Is that it for basketball, or we ready to move on?
We're good.
So
Okay. All right,
off season's a couple weeks away, and then that's when the fun begins.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna shift our attention over to baseball now. We gotta dive in a little bit into baseball with the A's, the Giants a little bit, and Ben will obviously have his usual Angels report. And it's been a really rough slate for the A's as of late, and it really has been that way since they went up to New York and played the Bronx Bombers, and it just hasn't looked good. So I'm just gonna throw this out to you guys first, because I said this last night on Twitter that I was going to come in hot and it's going to be no holds barred, because I have some pretty strong feelings with the way this has been going lately. And I know it doesn't help because they're not playing well. So this is another reason why I'm going to come as hard as I'm probably going to. But I'll just ask you guys, would you guys like to open up with your opening thoughts before I dive into any of this?
I'll go real quick.
All right, there we go.
We've talked about this. They're not a great hitting team. It's the same old song and dance. They need a better hitting coach. I don't want to compare the A's and the Giants, but their staffs are, the Giants staff is better. They readjusted Crawford's hitting stance. He's hitting like an MVP. I've called for years. I think the A's need to do better hitting coaches. Bassett gets lit up yesterday. It happens. So he's had a phenomenal year or half year. It's frustrating. Just can't get any momentum going. You can't seem to win a series to save their life. They're hitting the skids right into the All-Star break. Maybe a good thing for them. They're typically a second half team. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, it's just all around, whether or not it's the bullpen, hitting, coaching. Mark Kotze might need to get off third base because, him sending people, again, them getting thrown out at home constantly is very frustrating. It's like we got the guys on third base, but they're not scoring. When the offense is really struggling, we can't, it's everything. It's starting pitching's really struggling. I mean, Cole Irvin looked amazing in San Francisco, and Bassett, he still has 9 straight decision wins because technically yesterday he didn't get the loss. Well, Delkin did, but he still didn't make it past 5 innings. So it's like, it's just frustrating. Like we need our aces, Bassett and Manaea to, get us through this tough stretch, and they're even struggling. So, Craig, I know you want to vent, so we'll shut up.
Well,
Craig, let me stop you really quick before you vent. Come back to me. I want to add something at the end after you admitted your vent.
Okay. Well, look, I think I'm going to come at this a little bit calmer than I probably would have if we'd have done this after the game last night, because I've had a little bit of time to really maybe process things a little bit, but I'm still
White Claws.
But I'm still gonna lay this out. Okay. Yeah. We've discussed that the hitting, it's not good enough. Their bullpen does not have enough help. I was really happy to have Wendelken back, and I think it's too soon to think that he's, part of the bullpen problems, even though he has struggled since he's came back. But I know he has potential. But other than that, it's still Trevino and it's still Petit. Everything else, it's like hold your breath, because they're just too inconsistent. And look, you look at how the record is right now, and to me, there is no doubt in my mind it is 100% because of the starting pitching that the Oakland A's have. Chris Bassett and Sean Manaea have been pretty terrific just about all year long. Okay, Frankie Montas has been more up than he's been down. He's given the A's chances to win games. Cole Irvin has been a very nice surprise, and he's had some bad starts, but for the most part, he's pitched well, and he's had some good starts where he's gone far into games. And James Carpillion has been also a very nice surprise. He came in, and I don't think we all would assume that he was going to just put himself into the rotation, but he immediately became the part of the rotation, and he's been there. And I have issues, but the starting pitching keeps the A's in so many ball games, and their offense just continues to do the same bullshit every single time out there. And I know I'm exaggerating. It's not every time. They're not like they're losing every single game, but you go into this series with Houston, you're down by 3.5 games. You have your 1 and 2 pitchers on the mound. You got to find a way to win this series when you're not playing good. You haven't won a series in 2 weeks. You have too many guys that are they're just struggling massively. You need to find a way to grind it. And yesterday they come out, they score 3 in the first. All right, cool. You're looking good for Bassett. He gives up 2. Okay, well, and then you get 3 again in the top of the second. They had more hits in the first inning yesterday than they did in total of like 3 of their last 4 games. Like, you need to be better than that. You can't. And then, but of course, you look at the way the game played out and you think, well, you can't blame the offense. I still put a lot of blame on the offense yesterday because once they got those 6, they went into like rest mode. They stopped putting any offense on the board. They had it first and third with nobody out in the 5th inning. They didn't get anything out of it. And tonight they're doing the same thing. They're getting so many runners on base. They're not capitalizing. They could have easily taken the lead the inning that they tied this game back at 3. And what happens? Kyle Tucker hits a home run, and now they're losing, and they're probably going to lose again tonight. So, and looking at this offense, there's so many guys that are they're just giveaway outs at this point. Sky Bolt and Seth Brown, I know I've talked about it, but it is just getting to the point where like they need to make decisions on these guys because they can't expect to really compete and even try to compete for the division if they're going to run with guys like this. If anything, give Steven Piscotty a chance to play every day. He's done it before. Like yesterday, he starts, he gets a hit in his first at bat. He's 1 for 2. And what does Bob Melvin do? And I don't want to criticize Bob Melvin because I think he's a terrific manager, but what they pitch hit him in the middle of the game because they'd rather go lefty on righty. And like, no, like you need to let guys ride it out. And then Seth Brown comes in the game. It's like, cool, let's put in a guy who's like 4 for his last 50 instead of just like riding it out. And I know he's replacing a guy like Chad Pinder, who's not doing any better, but like, you got to start riding these guys out a little bit. If not, make moves because reality is I don't think Seth Brown should be on this roster down the final stretch. I don't think Sky Belt should be on this roster down the stretch. Pinder, Piscotty. Yeah. I think Pinder, he plays everywhere. So yeah, that'd be hard to do it, but like, they have to do something because they can't expect to just skate by with this team that they have right now because it's becoming very clear that there is so many issues that is on this team that they're not going to compete with teams like the Astros. The Astros, they're kind of reminding me a little bit of what Vegas, the Knights did to the Sharks. I mean, a little bit of a different scale, but just the fact that like, it's so clear that the A's are not on the Astros level right now. Like, look at that lineup. It is ridiculous from like top to nearly bottom. I mean, you got the 2 guys like Miles Straw and Martin Maldonado at the bottom, but at the same time, they'll find a way to hurt the A's. It's like they're talking about, oh, Yordan Alvarez 2 home runs. Well, maybe you should walk him. Why would you do that when you have Carlos Correa right behind him? So obviously you can't do that. So I think my huge worry about the A's is the thing is in my mind, I still think this team's going to find a way to win 90 games this year. They're still going to find a way to be up there. Will they make the playoffs? I'm a little bit more on the shaky side. I still say that they're going to make the playoffs. I think they'll find a way because even though they can't seem to hang when they play head to head against the Astros, they struggle against other teams and the A's, will probably find a way to somehow get there. If they make the wild card game, they're probably 1-10. Yep. And I just at a point where I feel like they're going to need to make too many moves at the deadline where they can't make enough. Like they need an outfield bat. They need a guy like Brian Reynolds or Adam Frazier or Duvall. They need someone like that could just get on base and just be consistent other than guys like Brown and all that. And they need bullpen arms and they need like 2. And what scares me is that we have guys like Bassett and Manaea who've been great, but Manaea did not pitch bad tonight. I'll give him that. But Bassett, he had his worst outing in a while last night. Sure. And that makes you worried because Bassett's had 2 of his worst pitching performances against the Astros. So it's like, how can I as a fan feel good if we're going into a series against the Astros with Chris Bassett when I've already seen the Astros whoop on him twice? And one thing about Manaea start though, Kyle Tucker hit a home run against him. That's his 3rd home run against Manaea just this season. Like, I don't know. Like, again, I feel like I'm not as hot as I might have been the other day, but it's just at a point where they need to figure something out. And missing Mark Canha is killing this team. Absolutely. Hardcore. Not having him in this lineup is just going to show how valuable Mark is to this team. But there's so many guys that are struggling. Ramon Laureano has struggled. Other than that one game he had back, he struggled. Tony Kemp has kind of came back to life a little bit and maybe kind of showing that his shelf life was kind of a thing. And because he's not being consistent either. Olsen finally hit his first home run tonight, the first time in 2 weeks. His average has dropped a little bit. Chapman has been, he's been holding his own, but he's not doing enough to carry this team. Elvis has been consistent. I'll give him that. He's been solid. He's been probably, like we've said it before, he's probably been their best player over the last couple of months. But Murphy, he's great, but he needs to do better than hitting 207. Like, and he strikes out way too much, which the whole team does. But
again, hitting coaches, like you need
you
to do
know,
philosophy.
I'm with it. I'm with that. But at the same time, these guys are they're professional athletes, and they have to figure something out.
True.
The reality is, I like I said, I'm not trying to disagree with that point that they probably should, they probably need a new hitting coach, but at the end of the day, they're not doing enough. And then and then you go on Twitter, and it's just like the saddest thing. And you got all these other things. Trevor Rosenthal found out he's not pitching for the A's all year. So there goes having that arm at one point, which I think we've kind of gotten to the point where we've kind of been like, if we get him, we get him. But if not, don't be surprised. And then there's also more stuff about the ballpark today. And it sounds like, there's this one big thing that the A's are saying no to. And so, more people are saying it looks like, they're moving out. So which,
basically,
I've been saying that they're more likely to leave than stay. And it sounds like what happened today just makes it more of a thing. But look, Jay, I'll let you what you're going to say, but in my closing of this entire rant or whatever you want to call it, I still think the A's are a good team. They will probably still find a way to win 90 plus games, and they will probably find a way to make the playoffs. But the reality is this team that they have right now ain't going to win them anything serious. It's just not. It's not going to make the cut. So that's my get off my lawn for today. So, but anyways, Jason, maybe just fill us a little bit about the whole issue with the ballpark. It seems to be a pretty huge play.
Right. A couple things to touch on before that. How we know that the A's are a solid team, right? How do they only get one representative to the All-Star game? Just one.
Because the All-Star game is a popularity contest.
I don't care. How is Mike Trout? How do the Angels get 3? Sorry, Ben. They deserve 1. Maybe
at
2.
the same time, the reality is there's a lot of players that get snubbed. So it's not like it was just Bassett and just Manaea. Like they're not the only guys that got snubbed.
Bassett should have been over Eovaldi and Kyle. What's his name? The pitcher on Texas.
Kyle Gibson.
Those easily Bassett over those two. That's downright disrespectful.
The problem is that every team needs a representative, but you got the Rangers getting 3, the Angels are getting 3, and I'm like, they're at the bottom of the division. What are they doing?
I mean, the biggest joke of the All-Star is Aroldis Chapman, though, right?
Yeah,
He's got to be the biggest joke, though, because it's not like those guys that got put on the All-Star team for those like the Rangers and Angels. It's not like those guys didn't maybe like somewhat deserve to make it. Like they're having good seasons. But like Aroldis Chapman, dude, the Yankees have but I think that's what also sucks too, is the A's went and lost 2 out of 3 to that team. And that team looks like an even more of a disaster than the A's right now. So
with a bigger payroll.
With an even bigger payroll. So I don't know. You get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. As far as the A's stadium thing happened today, I guess the city council asked the A's if they had affordable housing in their proposal, and they don't.
And they don't.
And any project in Oakland or in the area, apparently, if you build a certain amount, you need to have affordable housing, which is like counterintuitive, because when you build a new complex like they're trying to build, $12 billion, you want to charge enough money to recoup some of that. And so it might have been a deal breaker today. Again, they can negotiate it, but based on like what you said, Craig, when you hop on Twitter and everybody's like, that's a deal breaker, and Cavill just wants to go to Vegas and say, hey, we tried, but you really didn't have your heart into it. That's the feeling I'm getting, is that the A's are probably heading to Vegas. They're going to put their face on, saying they tried their hardest, and city council said no. But like I said, it's negotiations, and we can see what happens in the next. I think they have July 20th is the next meeting. I don't know if they're going to vote on it then or not, but that's the next.
It certainly
meeting.
Sounds like that could be the day that we really.
It could be Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but breaking news: the A's just lost, so they are on the potential of getting swept tomorrow, and yeah. So go figure. Another game that, if they just had some bit of an offense, I mean, this is a winnable game. I mean, downright period. I mean, even the Boston series, I'm looking at that series and
Close games, they show.
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but did the Red Sox really play that good of a series?
No.
Because I don't really think they did. Because Sunday they get the one run on a double play, So yeah, I'm not trying to take credit from Nick Pivetta. He had pitched great, and the bullpen is solid. But come on, and even Friday, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it's like that's a series that the A's could win if they just had like a major league offense more consistent.
Craig, do you want some good news? It may come with some bad news.
Depends.
Okay, do you want the bad news or the good news?
Just hit me with the bad news first.
Bad news first is probably Matt Olson's swing is kind of probably be crap for a little bit after.
Well, it's not like it's been that great as the last couple of weeks.
The good news is Matt Olson's in the home run derby, so it's gonna hit bombs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious who he'll get matched up against in the first round, but
Ohtani.
Oh my goodness.
he gonna lose that one for sure then. But we'll talk about the Giants a little bit too. We'll move Tigers, but I want to get Ben in the conversation because he's been pissing in his own bubble there about the Canadians because I know he's a big time Canadian fan. So Ben, I know you guys just beat the Red Sox 2-3. I know you guys handled your business and hey, you know what? You're over 500, so all of baseball is paying plenty of attention to you guys because apparently that's all you guys need to be relevant. So why don't you fill us in on what's going on over there down in Anaheim?
Well, thank you very much, sir, Captain Craig, for ruining half of my information that I had because there's not much else.
Half the bit, baby.
So that's cool. So this is
what I'm talking about.
So yeah, above 500, 44 and 42. Thank God, but little for nothing. Ohtani did hit his 32nd home run today, so he is now holding the record by most home runs in a single season by a Japanese-born player. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty impressive. But
who did he pass, Ben?
I actually saw that earlier and I forgot to remember.
And who is Hideki Matsui?
That's what it was. I knew it was super Japanese too. But Walsh has been heating up as well. 4 home runs in his last 7 games. So I guess that's enough for him to get voted into the All-Star game. So we'll take that. Sorry, Chapman. Anyways, but
if you're referencing Matt Chapman definitely did not deserve to make the All-Star team. So you have no worries about that one.
All good. Anyways, but they did sweep the Orioles last week. 3 games, kind of expected, but you never know when it comes to the Angels. So they ended up handling that. And big surprise, they did actually handle the Boston Red Sox 2 out of 3 in close games, 1-run games in those. It was pretty good. I was pleased to see them just play well, get hits. The pitching wasn't atrocious because I really thought that the Boston bats would really come alive against the Angels. Starting pitching. And then just watching the bullpen get rocked. But nope, everyone just kind of held their own piece of the puzzle and it all came together. They do have a 3-game set against the Seattle Mariners before the All-Star break where Ohtani, Walsh, and Trout will be representing the Angels in that. So we'll see how that goes. But
what?
Well, Trout got voted in, but
oh, my bad. The way you said it, because you said they were 3-game in Seattle, I thought you were trying to say that they were representing against that series against Seattle, but never mind.
Oh, no. 3 games against Seattle and then going to the All-Star break.
It's my bad.
Yep. We all agree with that. So anyways, as I said, Craig took half of my information right there. So
no, I didn't.
That's really all I got right now. I'm hoping to see, a strong finish to this half of the season before the All-Star break. And like you said, Jason, I am really curious with Ohtani doing the home run derby. How much is that really going to affect his swing, his timing with everything? I'm curious to see how he does pitching in the All-Star game for the little bit that he'll get and just see where it goes from there. It'll be fun to watch, but at the end of the day, it's all just for fun and just something to get the fans all excited about. So hopefully when they come back, it'll be back to business and they can kind of just keep on this positive run that they're doing and just maybe, be third place or something. I don't know. Just aim for the stars.
Did they announce who's starting the All-Star game?
I don't believe so, but I can tell you that Jake DeGrom did announce that he will not be going to the All-Star game, which is not a surprise.
Okay, yeah, you were saying that last week that you thought he was going to opt out because of the team.
Yeah, well, it's just he's been
seeing
like pitching
picture.
And he's like getting hurt and he's still coming back to pitch and he's not going to risk going out there and pitching in a game that doesn't matter because, and quite frankly, the Mets they probably don't want him to either.
Yeah,
because he's just too valuable to risk.
They're seeing the bigger picture.
That's the other reason too why, was going back to Bass and Mania. Like those guys deserve to make it, but I'm kind of cool with them not because I don't want to see them go out there and pitch. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If they go out there and pitch, I'll cheer for them and I'll be like, hell yeah, that's cool. But at the same time, if they get hurt, then they miss about a time. Like the A's if there's anything the A's can't afford is to lose any of their starting pitchers because if they lose one of those guys, well, they're gonna be looking at 500 pretty soon. So, yeah,
I could just feel the flames coming from Craig right now.
Oh, I see his eyes about to pop out of his head.
Yeah, he's ready. I'm surprised that pen hasn't broken half yet.
I know, right?
Does he have an adult
that table stuck?
I mean, Jesus.
What is that table built from?
Refill. Look at you.
Don't drink your sorrows away. Right. It won't help.
But,
we're here for you.
Well, you know what?
What?
My bad. I got sidetracked. I'm not going to lie. I saw my phone. I had a text message meaning this track. Just want to be honest with the people. But you know what? It's something about being honest with people. All right. I will shift it over to the other side of the bay. Let's go to the Giants, who they've been scuffling a tad bit, a little bit on their own. So, but I would say the worry button for them isn't anywhere there needs to be. I mean, they got guys that are on the injured list right now that'll be coming back probably pretty soon. But I guess just diving into it, I mean, after they lost that game to the Giants, they went to LA. They lost the quick 2-game series, lost both those games there. They went to Arizona. They lost the first game of that series, but then they handled that AAA team the last 3 to win the back 3, and then they lost the first 2 games to open up against St. Louis back there at AT&T Oracle Park. Jesus.
Now we're
clearly just all over the place. But they are winning tonight. Looks like the last time they were winning tonight. So
they got plenty of time to blow it.
I mean, I guess in your guys' opinion, I mean, it's probably nothing to worry about too much, right? With how the Giants have been playing. I mean, it's not like Gosman is getting bombed around or anything like that. And Desclafani is pitching bad. I mean, they still have some good things going for them.
They could use another starting pitcher for the, besides Cueto, Gosman and Desclafani. Because, I mean, how much longer are you going to throw out Shedlon every 5 days? Right. Alex Wood, he's all right, but I could see them getting another starting pitcher.
Plus, I think Shedlon just got put on the IL or he got sent down or something like that. So I guess there's a chance that I think they called up Tyler Beede. I guess there's a chance that Tyler Beede could start. I guess I think it's Friday is when he could potentially start. So I don't know. I don't think the Giants need to worry too much. I mean, the Dodgers have been hot lately. Yeah. And they've been right on the Giants' tail, but I don't think you need to.
Scary part about the Dodgers is they're not even 100% healthy yet either.
Oh yeah,
they still don't have Corey Seager back.
I mean, that's one thing of the Dodgers though. It's like next man up with that team. It's like when a guy gets hurt, it's almost like they're able to really fill that void where it's just like, I mean, you notice they're gone, but it's almost like
they're not.
It's almost like they're not. I mean, look at the Astros. Bregman's been hurt. Bregman hasn't played. They had freaking Abraham Toro out there.
Who?
And exactly. They have Abraham Toro out there. And so.
Well, the thing is with the Giants, even like I think they're in like, they're not playing the worst baseball either. I mean, it's just one of those things. And just like we say with the Angels and the A's, it's still a long season. You're going to
Yeah.
run into little ruts. They're not the most healthy, like you guys said. They're going to get them eventually back. I think they did essentially kind of in a way kind of blow their wad against you guys, playing you guys in a very tough 3-game series. And I think that they were kind of just looking at and just really kind of just mentally preparing for that. And they didn't really care about what else was coming up. And I think that that's where things kind of just in a way started to derail a little bit, and you kind of just saw a little bit of shakiness from the team. Because other than that, this little segment of the season, they've been pretty consistent and pretty well. And then even last night they were going to win, possibly off that walk-off, and they got robbed, off that home run, like they did to the Dodgers, to Pujols a few weeks back. So it's just the way that the game goes. They are winning right now 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. So we'll see if they hold on to that lead come the end of the podcast. But, I think that for them, there's no real reason to struggle or panic and think like, oh man, like they got plenty of time. There's plenty of game left, and they've created a good cushion for themselves for the season.
Plus you kind of want to face some adversity too, because they've kind of been like on a cruise control in a sense, where they've been playing pretty darn good. And they haven't really had a bad stretch. I mean, their worst thing was when they got swept by the Dodgers at home, right? That one weekend series, but they like immediately turned it back around. So they really haven't had probably this lengthy of a struggle.
Multiple series.
So, and if anything, maybe they'll struggle in the All-Star break. They get a chance to recoup. And I think they have 2 representatives in the All-Star game. Gosman, who I'm just going to call right now. I think Gosman might start. But I'm not sure where he lined up and where his last start was.
Does Craig know who the other 2 are?
Yeah, it's Craig.
Oh yeah, well I know Brandon Crawford's the other guy that made
it. Have the flow.
They got another one. They have another one that made it.
Yeah, they got a starter.
Yep.
Possible Hall of Famer.
Barry Bonds.
Oh, now you just gave it around.
Oh. Wait, they have another. Oh yeah, duh, Buster Posey. That's stupid of me to forget that. Of course.
Who is Laureano?
All those guys are incredibly well deserving. Like the years that Crawford and Buster Posey are having, and and then
goddamn fountain of youth. It's real.
For sure.
Gosman may not start because he's supposed to pitch this coming Sunday.
Okay, then maybe he won't pitch then. So,
but if he gets replaced, they maybe Desclafani may fill it.
Hopefully. Yeah, it's possible. So. We'll see.
We'll see what happens with the Giants side. You just kind of all said it. It's kind of skidding right now, but
don't think you need to. There's nothing to worry about right now.
No, nothing right now.
So, all right. Well, Jason, I know you and I have some bets that we had for today. I faded the A's hardcore today, which I still don't think it really benefited very well because I just lose a lot. So, but anyways, Jason, why don't you start it off?
I had Atlanta over Pittsburgh, and that was close for like 2 innings. And Atlanta won 14-3, so that was a win. I had Oakland and Houston under 9. Did that hit?
Yes,
no.
It hit. Yeah, it only had 7. It only had 7 runs. It was 4.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, I'll show
the winner. All right, so that was a winner too. I had Philly over the Cubs, and that's
a loss.
That's a loss. And then I had Seattle and the Yankees.
Not guaranteed yet, but almost.
No, it's over. The Philly lost. And then Seattle and the Yankees over 8.5. And I think I'm looking pretty good because there's 6 runs in 3 innings right now. So that might be a win as well.
All right. Well, let's go into the list of how I faded the A's pretty badly today. And just fitting that I would not only, because it was what it's been deemed the emotional hedge, which is where you bet against it so that either way your team would win or your bets would win. And typical how this would work, but I'm pretty sure I have under 500 on this one still. So first one, I had my total I looked at was at 8.5. I took the over on that one. They only had 7, so that did not hit. I took the A's, the under, and their team total runs at a -3.5. They only had 3, so that one hit there. Took the Astros over 4.5. They only had 4, so that was a no for that one. I also took Yulieski Gurriel to have at least 2 hits. He's been crushing the A's pretty good. throughout so far this season, and he went 0 for 3 tonight. So of course he decided not to contribute, so that one didn't hit. So, but I did go 2 for 3 because ultimately I took the Astros to beat the A's tonight, which we have covered that has happened. So go figure. I still can't even have a positive week, even when I fade the A's.
Craig needs a drink ASAP.
So
yeah. All I know is the CEO of White Claws watching this and just salivating.
Claws, baby.
He's just salivating like, get that man a keg.
Can't do it.
Get him a 24-pack quick.
Oh, baby.
Daddy, chill.
All right, well, let's shift it to something, something that's cold, kind of like a White Claw would be the ice that the Montreal Canadiens Tampa Bay Lightning skated on. Let's go, baby. Got it all. I got them all for you. So without further ado, I'm going to let Ben let us know the journey of the Stanley Cup final and how we've gotten to, but it was now the last game of the season tonight. I'm going to drink.
It was a little disappointing of a Stanley Cup final for anyone who was a fan of it. Even the Tampa Bay fans, I don't think were very pleased with the outcome of what kind of hard work and dedication the Montreal Canadiens showed in the Stanley Cup final. When you compare it to the way they played in rounds 1, 2, and 3, it seemed like they were non-existent. They didn't show up until game 4. They had bad bounces. I'm going to say the reffing was pretty atrocious in game 1 and 2 and really throughout the series, but really just giving the Tampa Bay Lightning as much of a head start as possible. And it kind of showed. The Conn Smythe winner, though, being Andrei Vasilevsky, the goaltender, who got a shutout tonight, which was his 5th of the playoffs.
That's
okay.
My man.
And the crazy thing is he just keeps getting them to clinch the series. So it's insane. So he has 5 shutouts in series clinching games, which is 2 more than any goaltender ever in the NHL history. So that's insane. So he's a real deal. Something I was kind of thinking about today while driving around was he's essentially like a bigger version of Jonathan Quick, but less of a head case and less of a shit. So he just focuses on making the simple saves down low, being flexible, being very, very flexible with everything. It's I believe you do. That rings you back memories 60 years ago. Anyways, then the thing is he's just the real deal. If Tampa keeps him, well, they will, but like I think that he will be the face of their franchise for many years to come. They'd be extremely stupid to let him go. And I think that as long as they can keep the major pieces in Tampa, given the salary cap issue with the whole loophole they found with Kucherov, if they can keep a lot of those people, they can easily make another run in the future seasons. We'll wait and see what happens, though. But now that the NHL is done with in 24 hours, the NHL buyout option will be open for NHL teams. So look for a lot of teams to create that opportunity. So I was going to say, yeah, Martin Jones, maybe even Evander Kane. You're going to see some of those names being moved just because and bought out just because of the Seattle Kraken coming into the league with the entry draft. Or expansion draft, not entry draft, the expansion draft.
What?
So it's going to create some very interesting players available on the market. We'll wait and see who gets released, but obviously our guesses are as good as anyone else's. We'll wait and see. But then a couple things noted about around the league. We've been talking about Seth Jones a little bit about how he's been available and a lot of teams are inquiring about him. The Columbus Blue Jackets have been called by just about every NHL team and their GM trying to see what the asking price is for Jones. I wouldn't be surprised to see him move to one of those contender teams that has enough pieces and draft picks to release for him, because Columbus is going to need a lot in return for him. He's a valuable piece for them. Something else was Nate Schmidt, recently a Vegas Golden Knight, but then went to Vancouver. Which was, I thought, was going to be a powerhouse club this year, which was an extreme flop. He wants out of Vancouver. So look for him to be on the market. I could see him going back to Vegas because Vegas clearly did miss him on the back end. So I could see him making a return for the right price. And time will tell if they can afford him. Exactly. But I just found out a little bit ago, Tarasenko from the St. Louis Blues wants out. He is done.
Get him out of here.
He was not happy when he opened. He was not happy with the way that the St. Louis Blues handled his 2 surgeries on his shoulder. They didn't get really too detailed. I didn't read into too much of it. It's just the fact he wasn't. The biggest words that came out was there's no trust. So when you lose that, when you lose that,
if you can't trust your team's medical staff, then you're LeBron.
Exactly.
Then you're not going to trust your own body, and that's just going to make worse things down the road.
Yeah, no, it's just crazy to think that, because he is such a face to that franchise, and the fact that he didn't get top-notch work from the medical staff and evaluations and everything, and just the rehab and everything, just not top-notch from them, is very shocking. And so I don't see why he would want to. I don't see why he would want to stay in that instance. If after 2 surgeries you don't feel that trust, I'd dip out. Something on a more serious note, though, during 4th of July, a lot of people had heard about. I apologize. I'm probably not going to say his name right. Matisse Kivlenkis. That's close, something like that. It's a European name. It's really tricky. But he actually, unfortunately, died at age 24 from a apparent misfire from mortar blast on 4th of July. It hit him in the chest or something. He hit his head, I believe, and he ended up passing away at only 24.
I think they said they call his death chest trauma.
Chest trauma.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's real shitty.
Yeah. So Columbus unfortunately lost a great prospect, but all along, in reality, just a great human being. When reading everything about him, everyone was saying he was just always a very upbeat, nice person and always had a smile. So it is very sad to see someone like that pass in such a freak accident style. So hopefully everything is, all the condolences and everything are made towards his family, and just hopefully everything is, they're able to all just try to take a step, because this is just that's a huge loss for everything. So yeah, no, that's all I have in regards to hockey right there. Tampa sucks. I'm not a fan of them. So anyways, and Fatty Maroon, whatever. Fucked up. So anyways, that piece of shit got 3 cups.
You mean the guy who just won 3 straight?
3 straight, whatever. Yeah, but I mean, what the fuck did he do this series? He did jack shit. He literally.
Can we also mention that Barclay Goodrow has won back-to-back Stanley Cups too? Like, oh my god.
No, I mean,
solid.
Okay, to be fair, Fatty Maroon literally does nothing. He literally is this lunky thing out there. Like, you can see him. Everyone, Kucherov, all these players are just smooth skaters. And then you see this guy and doing nothing. Goodrow, at least I can respect him, because watching him on the PK, he created more opportunities than the Canadians would have on the power play. He was a hard worker. Maroon, just because he was getting physical exercise, does not make him a hard worker. Okay? Like, that is just complete and total horse shit. Like, that guy is gonna, it never gets old, of course, because you're gonna eat donuts out of the damn cup, you fat ass guy.
I don't know.
So anyway,
you don't know.
Good job, man.
You don't know who this guy is, but in the NBA, there's this guy named Solomon Hill, and he usually plays somewhere between 20 and 25 minutes a game, and he does jack shit for box scores. It legit looks like he's just out there doing conditioning.
That's the thing, though. It's watching Fatty Maroon hoist the cup with his team shirtless during the Tampa Bay celebration last year. Everyone's ripped. All these hockey players are ripped. Hockey players are known for being pretty fit in the NHL. And then him, yeah, we won't need to get into it. Just Google it yourself.
Hey, Craig and Ben, I really appreciate you guys, taking up the Get Off My Lawn segment tonight. You guys are doing really well.
I appreciate.
You're right.
I figured your lawn was dying.
We got to
pretty
fill
well.
the void. We got to fill the void.
Help you out a little bit. Give your grass a rest. It's all good. When there's grass on the field, play ball.
So,
She said.
so I know you said that the buyout.
You know what? We're actually out of time. We got to move on. No, go ahead, John.
Well, I do have a question though. I do have an NHL question. So Ben did say the buyouts can start anywhere from the next 24 hours. But when does the actual offseason where trades and signing and all that stuff actually start?
That is a good question. Let me Google that because it did change. I know that's coming up.
I can't remember if they have to, if the expansion drafts first or if it starts before the expansion draft.
That is a good question because
I would think they do it before the expansion draft.
Yeah.
I would think so, but
They haven't released
Well,
a schedule
that's
for next
well, the
year.
only issue is if you sign someone and then now
July
you have more
28th.
people to protect.
July 28th.
You would think
start
the
date of
extension
under
draft would be-
that's when the free agency starts. So that's
Okay.
when they'll kind of go to town on each other. So yeah, no, yeah, it's a little weird just because I had to look that one up because it changed. But I think that a lot of things are going to change just given that buyout, especially the not the buyout, the loophole that the Tampa Bay Lightning found to be 18 million over the cap, and they won the Stanley Cup.
Mhm.
I think they're going to have to do something about
Something's-
that because
something's gonna get changed.
somebody can easily just be like, oh, I hold off on an injury for a surgery and announcing surgery so that way they can have them do the loophole shit again. So it'll be interesting to see what the league comes up with in order to change that to make it so it's fair across the board, but they may not do anything. Who knows? Bettman isn't necessarily known to be the most efficient with that type of stuff. And I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, but when he was handing the Stanley Cup to Steven Stamkos and Stamkos took it, I could have sworn I saw him say, "You're welcome. We gave this to you." So I don't know. I could be wrong. Back to you, Craig.
All right. Well, we can let's move past it because we actually have one of our favorite segments of the entire show coming up. It is
Quit it. Move on.
the Cohooney 5 plus the bowling recap.
Nobody
So,
cares.
Yep.
Cohooney,
Plus
I
the
know
bowling recap.
you got a big pay-per-view coming up this weekend. I can
Yep.
tell you're very, very excited on probably many, many levels. So I'm going to throw this over to you. Let us know what you got going into this
I
Saturday.
got goosebumps.
Oh boy.
Oh my.
Yeah, but before we get to that, I am going to bring up the bowling recap. So we got to bowling on Monday, and we were like, all right, so we won 3 out of 4 last week. Let's see what place we're in now. We get there, we're actually lost 3 out of 4 last week. I'm like, wait, what happened? Evidently, the team we faced was a 4-man roster, and the handicap was as if the other bowler was bowling, not the bowler who actually bowled. So they ended up having like 80 more pins of handicap. So we were like, okay, that's bullshit. So we ended up, correction from last week. We only won 1 point.
As Green
and
Day
then
would
going-
say, do you know your enemy?
What?
That was awful, Ben. That was really bad.
I've had worse.
Take a drink.
True.
Roasted. Oh, hell no.
Yeah,
We almost need a minute.
Whatever. Yeah.
I checked the segment, baby. That's how we do this. Go ahead,
Yeah.
I'm
John.
gonna circle
Continue.
So-
back. He'll come back. There we go. He's back.
First game this week, really, really struggled. Shot 160 something. Just
9.
I couldn't figure out the lanes.
Yeah, we'll just round it up to 9.
Came back the next game and shot 220. And then my last game, fell back to earth and shot another 160 something game. So
69.
in all
All
in
right,
all,
I
in
get it.
all,
Not even close.
for the
Respect
3
that.
games, I still averaged over 185. So still got over my average, but it still sucked that I had two bad games this week. We ended up taking 2 out of 4. Hopefully, unless there's some
wait and see that paperwork next week.
Yeah, a little asterisk next to it. Yeah, so
game.
yeah, we're really faltering after starting off really strong in the league. Now,
So is your team named the
pretty
Oakland
much
Athletics?
we're in the middle of the pack now.
How about new?
Oh boy.
Is your team the Oakland Athletics?
I'll get you, and I'll look like a bloody accident.
Well, the difference is the Oakland Athletics did not start off strong. We started off strong, and now we're
Ooh, valid.
All right, well,
Redact that statement.
Jeez.
All right, guys. So let's go to the Cohooney 5, though.
Damn right.
Remember last week UFC was off for the week, so I stuck with MLB, which, as you guys have seen, my previous MLB bets usually isn't that good. But
You're right.
even though the A's and the Pirates lost, I did still go 3-2 because the Royals kicked the JA crap in the Twins' butt. Angels somehow won 8-7 against Orioles, and then Sonny Gray came through for me with the Cubs. So against the Cubs. So another winning week. So let's get on. I am 35, 28, and 2 all time in the Cohooney 5. We got UFC 264 this Saturday. We got it's the first matchup's it's gonna be really quick. Sean O'Malley was supposed to face Luis Smolka. Smolka had to drop out because he got a staph infection.
Smoka?
Now he's facing off against
Smoka the staph infection. Yeah, man.
Exactly. Now he faces off against Chris Mutino. And Chris Mutino, who he's facing off, has never fought in the UFC. And now his very first fight is going to be in a pay-per-view against Sean O'Malley. Yeah, give me a first round TKO from Sean O'Malley. Seriously, if you guys have $800 laying around right now, and you want to get the easiest $100 of your life, yeah, just bet the minus 800 of Sean O'Malley. How it's not minus 1200 or whatever it is, I have no idea. This is like not even close.
Who even has $800?
Yeah, I don't know. What of our millions of viewers? Come on, man. Someone out there.
Oh man.
You can do it.
But yeah.
You can do it.
And now the next fight.
Right.
This is the Jonathan butchers the name part of the Cohooney 5. Kunitskaya.
Love it. Say that again.
Say it again.
Kunitskaya is facing off against Aldana. It's a women's bout, and it's a wrestler versus boxer, and I'm going with the wrestler. I have Kunitskaya pulling off the upset here. And then we go on to the next fight. It's in the heavyweight division. We got Tuivasa facing off against Greg Hardy. Yes, that Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy has no stamina whatsoever, which is hilarious considering he was in the NFL. But yeah, after the first round, he's gassed. So Tuivasa makes it. If Tuivasa makes it past the first round, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I got Tuivasa winning this one. And now we got 2 fights that I actually cannot wait for. We got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns. This is pretty much a number 1 contenders fight for the title. Burns last fought for the title, lost. Now he's looking for another chance, while Wonderboy is looking for his 3rd chance at the title. Winner of this will face Kamaru Usman for the title. I have Wonderboy Thompson winning this one against Burns. And then we got the main event. We got Conor McGregor, the notorious Conor McGregor.
I love it.
Facing off against Dustin the Diamond Poirier. And boy, I just hope this one goes 5 rounds.
Isn't that a dish?
It doesn't end in the second round like last time. But yeah, this is the end of the trilogy. They're both 1-1.
I think it's a
might surprise you guys, but I am gonna be going with Conor McGregor in this one. I think
same.
Ooh.
I think he I don't know if you guys saw, but he moved his whole training camp down to Southern California. He's away from family. He's strictly just only people who need to be there are there. He's getting in the right mindset. I think he's going to learn off his last fight. I mean, those calf kicks are pretty much the reason why he lost. But yeah, so I got McGregor beating Poirier. So to go over it, my Cohooney 5 for this week is Sean O'Malley, Kunichi Kaya.
Ooh.
I really hope I'm saying that right.
No, you're probably not.
Tuivasa,
Probably not.
Wonderboy Thompson, and Connor Notorious McGregor.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go with Wonder Bread over there. Okay.
I feel like we
anyways.
could have just.
But I'm gonna have to go
with.
with Poirier and / Chow Mein or whatever you said. I'm gonna go with him. I think he's gonna beat McGregor this go around. So
No, Cohooney, really quick.
Are you kidding me?
McGregor usually responds pretty well to losses. I mean, he lost to Diaz, came back, beat Diaz. He lost to Khabib, and then he beat Cowboy.
That was in a completely different. So he lost to Khabib, and then he took a couple years off. So the win against Cerrone was a weight class up.
Okay.
Against Donald Cerrone, who you could argue they're not in the same class. Like Connor's way better than Cerrone. This is Poirier, who might be in his best shape of his career.
Right. I
So,
think it's a bounce back, and I think he wins too.
yeah. My biggest issue is 2000. The when he lost to Diaz and came back, that was 2014 McGregor. The McGregor who had never tasted a title, wasn't worth billions of dollars.
Right.
This is the McGregor who is. It's like, does he still have that same mindset?
Sure.
I believe he does. Vegas doesn't believe so. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, Poirier is the favorite.
Barely a favorite.
It did.
give it time.
open-
It could change. It could flip.
It has been. It actually has. So it opened
Poirier
up.
could
as a
get staff.
pick-em.
Who knows? We'll see.
Please don't even put that into the fucking vortex, asshole.
No!
Why would you say that?
Wow!
No, what? Fuck this. Craig, quit it. Move on.
All right. Well, thank you, Cahoon, for that Cooney 5. We're looking forward to seeing how that plays out for you. Hopefully, you continue with another winning week. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
boy.
First 5-0 week.
Craig can set up the straight face.
I think you meant to go.
No, you're
I think
right.
I've had. I think the worst I've done is 2-3. I don't even think I've had a.
Especially
why
because
not?
if anything, I just really hope that he loses that first fight, because if he's the one saying it's like a lock, he's basically saying lock of the week. So if he gets it wrong, we got to play it again for next week. We got to roast him. We got to.
Oh yeah, of course,
Oh, yeah.
of course.
We got to funeralize that take, right?
Yeah, of course.
So
Oh, if Sean O'Malley loses, I'm gonna lose a lot of money. So
yeah,
whatever.
well,
Wouldn't be the first
all
Wouldn't be the first time, and it won't be the
$1.65,
last.
baby. All $1.65 you got left. So, all right. Well, this is usually the part of the program where we
Pregnant?
The pregnant?
That
I'm sorry. What now?
Pregnant?
What? I'm sorry.
Who's
I don't
pregnant?
even know what
I'm
I
sorry.
said.
These Amazon headphones must have been putting shit in here. I'm sorry. I must have misheard that.
You know what? It's Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. I don't really know what we're doing. Is this
So
even the
due on
podcast?
Thursday.
Is this
Got
even
it.
the show?
Okay.
No.
So what about pregnant?
Oh my god! This is the usual part of the program.
Oh, don't start changing up words now.
Oh Jesus!
How about new?
Moving on to the program where usually we get into the softball recap, but we're not really in a recap right now. So we didn't play Friday because of the 4th of July holiday. So no game there. We'll be back in action on this Friday. We have a game at 6:30. So we'll be back. And then Hayward, we were supposed to start up on Monday, Wednesdays next week, but that actually got pushed back a week now. So now we won't start until the 19th and the 21st. So next week we'll just have a little bit of a recap on our Friday game, and then so then after that we'll get more action there. So but that's really the big one there. So nothing really softball wise going on.
I
got
could
some
talk
more
about my
time.
hockey recap. I did
Nope.
actually.
We could do
Okay,
that.
Moving
but
on.
We could not, but unfortunately, it wasn't discussed in the pre-show. So therefore, you're gonna have to wait until the next go around. So
Gosh darn it.
you know how it goes, Ben.
Yeah,
We're
I
out of
do.
time. So,
Mm.
but actually, if you have really brief, I will say you're allowed to, because Jason doesn't have a hitter quitter tonight. He's let all the fans down, all the billions listening. So
No.
unfortunately-
I don't have a get off my lawn.
Yeah, whatever.
This guy drunk.
This guy is drunk, man. And White Claw is just like, serve it up, baby.
You know laws when you're drinking claws,
but-
baby.
Oh man. But last week I had a ice game for one of our just conditioning preseason games, I guess, if you want to say. We played against a pretty good team. The team itself wasn't very good, but they had two brothers on there that were definitely AAA Shark players. 6'2" at best. I mean, that's with maybe not skates. So they controlled most of the tempo. We ended up winning 8-7. I got a goal and 3 assists and also a shootout winner. So that was cool. But I don't think we'll actually be playing them again. It was just kind of a you played teams out of your division to just see where you're at, but we ended up handling them. So that was pretty cool, but it was a very hard preseason game because those guys made us really have to skate, and my fat ass is not ready for that. So one stride of theirs is about 8 of mine. So it was just good though to score a goal finally. It's been a while, and so I'm just kind of getting my feel again out there. So give it time, and I'm sure that Livermore will open up again, and then we'll get Craig and John out there, and then why not call up off free agency Jason, and we'll get it rolling.
Yeah,
I don't think so, Tim.
I can't skate.
Don't think
That's fine.
I can't say for John, but I don't think you're getting me or Jason on the ice. So,
Well, that's just utter and total disappointment right there. Talk about wasting a draft pick.
speaking of waste, that segment that I now have to create a timestamp for on the YouTube video once this is done recording. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, nothing else to respond to that.
That is it. Just struggling life right there. I apologize.
Right. Cool. Okay, that's playing a really long time. Wow.
It's on loop.
Yeah.
Some of these are just like they're just playing through, and I don't know why. Like this one,
some of our viewers,
like that one, I don't know why. Last time it just kept going.
I don't encourage at all, and none of us here except maybe Craig.
I'm sorry, we're actually all out of time. We need to move on to
drinking
the next
and
segment.
managing a podcast. It is not gonna end.
I'm pretty sure you're the only person who's gotten so drunk on this show that you've just rambled for on and on and on and on.
It was some good rambling though.
I don't
went
want to
back
hear.
and watch that. That was pretty.
I don't want to hear it, Mister. So let's move on. So, like I said, we have no get off my lawn singer from Jason. I think Ben and I kind of handled a little bit, gave you a little taste of what that's like, though. But this one, tease, taste, whatever floats your boat, really. But
hey, whatever makes you pregnant.
You just get.
I'm a man.
Oh, you're the worst type of person. You are just the worst type of person.
Can't tell which one you're talking to.
We know who he's talking to.
Run that guy.
All right. Well, we got. Let's get right to the hit it or quit it. This is that segment we do every week. We just have a roundtable question. Goes to all 4 of us. We just go roundtable, just decide if one of us, if we're hitting it or are we quitting it. So, on a side note, I think last week we were all even. Like I don't think there was a question that any of us were on the different sides of. I think we were all in agreement. So
yeah, that was the first.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever done that before.
First take would have been disappointed.
Yeah. So let's get it. Let's hopefully see some differences here. So, any questions you might have? Go ahead and hit it out.
I will go, second.
Okay.
You want to go first, Jason?
I'll go first. We mentioned him a little bit earlier. Ohtani, or actually about a month ago, we talked about Ohtani being possibly the face of baseball. I think you can make an argument now that he's top 2, maybe. Part of my question is, though, he's a great pitcher. He's a great slugger. Is Shohei Ohtani the great Bambino 2.0? Hit it or quit it.
Well, I guess I'll just start this off. In a way, yes, but I think I was actually talking to one of our buddies, Alex, about this exact topic. I think that he needs to still fine-tune his pitching a little bit more. He's a little too inconsistent on the mound. I mean, obviously, last week we talked about the 0.2 inning he pitched for a game. Too many walks. He needs more control. Now, if that's sticky substances or whatever he, does to prep himself, whatever. I think he needs to just fine tune his pitching a little bit more. And I think we need to see what he offers up next year on the plate. Anyone can have a good year. You're all A's fans. You know what that's like, one and done. So, So I want to see what he can do next year. If he's crushing home runs and consistently staying on the mound and staying in games, playing well, and able to hit maybe, I would say, over 30 home runs in a season. I think that's a respectable number. And so I think if he can do that, then yeah, I think give it a season or two, and I think he could be. But I think it's too early to tell that now. So that's just my point. So I would say quit it for now. But in a year and a half or 2 years, let's come back to that.
Yeah, I'm going to quit it. I as much as I respect Ohtani as a dual threat that he is, I think he's better suited as an everyday DH. I would rather have him. I would rather have him in my lineup hitting than have to worry about him hitting and pitching. And just considering how much power he has, like every time he comes up to bat, it's not just he only hits righties. It's like, no, he's hitting home runs off lefties. He's hitting home runs off everything right now. Guy's a single ball pitcher, home run. The guy's a knuckleball pitcher, home runs. Like it
doesn't matter where it is in the zone, high, low, middle. He's hitting it.
So it's like I would right now, honestly, if I was the Angels, I would rather him just be our everyday DH than be the dual threat that he is. I mean, it's still respectful what he's doing, but I think he's more valuable as a hitter. So I'm going to quit it.
Yeah, I'm following suit. I give actually Ben a lot of credit on this one. I think he said a lot of right things, and John did too. I'm actually totally following suit. I think it's really early to start thinking about it, but I think Shohei Ohtani is really great for baseball. You see a lot of him, and I think it's a good thing that he is, and it's a pretty damn cool. I mean, he got voted into the All-Star game as not only a hitter but also a pitcher. But yeah, the pitching I think needs to get a little better. He's just not consistent enough, and it's also just a little too early. Exactly what Ben said. Like it's one season. Anybody can have a good season. Let's see how consistent he gets before we start getting into whether or not he's like the next Babe Ruth and everything like that. So, but everything right now, it definitely points the direction that it's very possible. But when it comes to right now, I am firmly on the quit it side.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna fall in alignment with you guys too. I'm gonna quit it.
Son of a bitch, man!
Can we get something going?
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, like you, Craig and John, you guys all said it. You guys covered it pretty well. They signed Ohtani to be one of the reasons he went to the Angels is because they promised him to be a pitcher and a hitter. I don't know if like a year or two from now, like John says, they say, hey, we just want you to DH. We don't want to risk an injury to you while you're throwing, where you're too valuable as a hitter. And like Ben said, it's still too early. If he's doing this again next year, we might have to have a different conversation, and he'll probably be the face of Major League Baseball, which is great. But yeah, like you guys, I'm going to quit it as well.
All right. Well,
And
thanks.
Also his
glad.
blisters, issue.
Yeah. Well, I thought about all those like injuries in the past, and I'm just like, and then even pitcher injuries in general and how severe those can be from like the littlest thing. And yeah, that would really suck. So hopefully he stays healthy, because yeah, no more big names need to get hurt. So my hit it or quit it will be, everyone's going to eye roll this. Corey Perry is going to be a free agent. He clearly showed
Sorry, what?
God damn it. A lot of people didn't really go after him during the offseason. The Montreal Canadiens finally did, gave him the league minimum to sign him. He accepted. He was told that he was going to be put on the taxi squad to start, not even on the starting roster. He agreed to that. Give it about 6 to 10 games or so, he got to start playing. He clearly shows that he just wants to play hockey. He doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about who it's necessarily with. Hit it or quit it. The San Jose Sharks.
This is coming.
The San Jose Sharks
sense it.
go for a piece like Corey Perry because of their bamboozle craziness with their salary cap and the way that their roster is and what they lack necessarily in that on the ice as a crease agitator. Do you think, hit it or quit it, that Corey Perry signs with the San Jose Sharks during this offseason for a low amount of money?
Craig,
And he also had back-to-back appearances at the Stanley Cup Final, but
Craig, can you just do it for me? I'm too tired.
I mean, I'm not gonna rule out the idea that maybe the Sharks
come
should
on,
fit
dude.
in him, but he's asking hit it or quit it. The Sharks will sign him, so I'm just gonna say quit it because I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think he's gonna sign here. I don't know if the guy even want to sign here, to be honest with you. So
He doesn't care. He wouldn't care.
he might care. So
yeah, I'm gonna quit it. I'm gonna quit it because I could not stand to see Ben in a Corey Perry Sharks jersey, to be honest. And
he's gonna be wearing a Sharks jersey probably regardless, trying to blend in with everyone else. Like he
but
always
it's different
does.
if it's a Perry jersey because then he's really owning it. Like it's gold and it's really not. I'm gonna quit it.
We know we're not going to a Sharks game with, so
Alright.
True.
Can you hit it for me already?
Just hit the sound light, Craig.
Just hit the.
which one?
I don't
This one?
think so, Tim.
That one?
No.
No, oh my god! It's a hit or quit it segment. Come on.
Oh,
Quit it. Move on.
damn it.
That's
I'm
my
slow.
answer.
I'm slow.
Wow. Anyways, I will say hit it.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
of
that there
course.
is a
Of
very good
course.
chance that you guys may go for someone like him, and I think that signing him for a very low amount of money would be an ideal situation. That'd be awesome. That'd be just one of the most amazing things in the
For who?
world
Hey.
for him to go.
Let's wrap it up.
So I'm hoping.
So
I'm
that's
gonna
what
say,
it took for us to disagree this week. Huh?
I'm gonna have to hit it because 110% in my heart. I really hope he does because then I could see him play and practice here, and yeah, and then it'd be just something else. So, anyways, who's got the next question?
Craig, do you got one or you want me to go?
No, I don't think I have one, so you can go.
All right, so I'll finish it off. I don't know if it happened yesterday or today, but I saw it. In the NFL, N'Keal Harry became the first NFL player to ever publicly announce that he's requesting a trade. His agent actually posted the two paragraph statement that he sent to the New England Patriots on, I don't know if it's Twitter or where he posted it, but it caused a little bit of an uproar because that's never actually ever happened publicly in the NFL. But hit or quit it. This could lead to more players publicly demanding trades.
I'll go. I'll hit it. I think NFL sees how the NBA is these days. NBA is a very player league, and I think NFL players want to get a piece of that and kind of dictate where they go if they're not in a good situation. Like let me throw out a team here, like Dallas, for example, when they're just not very good. I could say that's the straight face. Like somebody like a Jacksonville or a bad team, they want to go somewhere else. They can leak information, and the agent, like John said, the agent came out and said, "My client doesn't want to be here anymore. He's probably been used the wrong way." Yeah, so I think it's going to be more frequent.
Great. I'd probably side with Jason. Jason's kind of convinced me to be on the more hit it side, I think so. And he provided a lot of content that I had in my head, but he said it all. So I won't bore you with repeating
Our
it.
manager is drunk and tired.
I'm really
This
not.
is not a good match.
So I mean, tired. we could talk about that, but
Yeah. But what's it called? I would say hit it as well. I mean, I wanted to go against you guys because it's always fun banter, but I can't because it's this day and age. It's 2021. There's so much technology out there where people just openly say stuff, and it just happens one time and you see it just snowball effect and everyone else hops on that train. So I'm going to say it's going to be a hit it for sure, that more players are just going to openly announce that they don't want to be there. And Jason, you made a great point. Like, I'm sure half the Dallas Cowboys will probably announce a trade out of that team, but who knows? So we'll wait and see what happens, though.
Back to you, John.
wait, you want to
Give
hit
me,
the button? Want to hit the button?
no, just give me 1 minute to remember where I was at.
Can't do it.
I honestly I can't.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, you rattled it so hard. Oh man, he looks
Any-
like Tony
any
Romo
day.
right now after getting sacked.
Oh.
No, so I'm going to quit it though, just because Jason, you did say how the NBA is really pro NBA pro player. Well, the NFL is the exact opposite. It's not pro player. It's way pro owner. And then another thing I saw was like, the meme from Jurassic Park, where it's like, hey, look, what's happening? Look what's happening. See, no one cares. And it was like the N'Keal Harry. N'Keal Harry's asking out. No one cares. It's because it's N'Keal Harry. I don't know if you guys know, but like he got drafted before DK Metcalf and people like that. So it's like he's a total bust. And I think it would take someone like maybe Aaron Rodgers to demand a trade for like a snowball effect to happen. So that's my reason I'm going to quit it.
Yeah, I was
No,
say,
actually,
hasn't he already?
He may. I didn't
No,
say
he didn't.
Okay.
I don't know if any of you guys. I can't remember what it was called. It was called the challenge or what it was, but it was
Yep.
the match.
Yeah, I saw
Aaron
it.
Rodgers, and a pro golfer, and then
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady and a pro golfer.
Oh, that's
Bryson,
what it was.
Bryson DeChambeau, who was a pro golfer with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He kept joking with him, like, so who's going to be the quarterback of week one of preseason? I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is like, I don't know, man. That's a good question. And then he's like, oh, what about September of this, blah, blah, blah. And Aaron Rodgers is like, oh, what's that? He's like, that's week one. He's like, man, that's a really good question. I mean, you can just tell, like, it was all joking. Like, Aaron Rodgers knows he's going to come back next year because, I mean, there's nothing else he can do. I mean, that's the thing with NFL. Like, yeah.
I think it's more likely that he's saying.
Yeah. I feel like he would have moved by now, like if he was going to before this season. Like I feel like he would have by now. Like just to get more, like just because of the bigger aspect of it, like getting a house, getting like moving his life over.
But at the same time, though, I mean, it's not like an equal comparison, and especially because Deshaun Watson, he has a lot of off-field issues that is a big thing too, but there's this whole talk that Deshaun Watson, he requested a trade. It's well known that he did, but the new GM of their team came in. He said, we're not trading Deshaun Watson. We don't want to. And that could easily be a ploy of saying like, we don't want to trade him. So clearly you're going to have to blow us away with your offer to get us to even think about trading him to you. So you never know.
No
this
GM is
could
going
definitely
to
be played out, but
no
sorry.
GM is
Oh, no, but I mean,
no
like,
GM.
I was gonna say if well, but the Packers, if the Packers GM Gutenberg was to trade Aaron Rodgers, like he might as well just sign his resignation papers because he'll never be allowed to be in Green Bay ever again. So it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers last year, and then they go to Jordan Love. So enjoy it, Packer fans, because I don't know where I think he's gonna go to Denver next season, but yeah, he will be playing this year though.
Yeah, it takes two to tango. You need a team that's willing to move you, and if that team is willing not to move you, then you're SOL. And no GM, like kind of what Craig was saying a little bit. No GM's going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to trade this guy, because guess what's going to follow? Low ball offers, because they know you want to trade him. They're going to hold that line and say, hey, we're not trading him unless we are blown away by like 2 number ones, a player, and like a third. Then we'll consider it, but it's not going to happen.
Cool. All right, does that wrap up the Hit or Quit It for this week?
Yep.
All right. Well, as we're about ready to tie this thing up, put a bow on it, we like to close out our show with some shout outs. This could kind of go over the place. We've done anything from, businesses to just people we know and everything really in between. So boys, if there's anything you guys you wanted to shout out, or
I'll start.
Jason?
I sent this to Craig. I don't know if you guys saw it on Twitter. My football coach, Kyle Shanahan, for the San Francisco Niners.
Oh, he's your coach? You play on that team?
He's my coach. Yeah, I got the hat. He's my coach.
Speaking of fourth quarter Super Bowl losses.
Nobody's talking about the Cowboys, buddy. Let's move it along.
Quit it, move on.
That's right, because we don't blow fourth
Quit it,
quarter
move on.
losses in the Super Bowl.
Okay, here
have
we
you?
go.
Okay.
All right.
What, do you know what a Super Bowl is?
Oh, here we go.
Actually, he definitely does know.
Me
what
as a
Super
baby
Bowl
does.
is.
Oh my god.
Goo goo gaga.
Anyways, I sent Craig a
This
tweet.
century?
Can we just stick? Can we stay like maybe on track what we're doing
why,
here?
Why are you doing this?
Can we?
Anyway,
Do I need to do this? Like, let's go.
so I sent Craig a tweet with Kyle Shanahan over the 4th of July weekend. They were down in Monterey, I think, with
Oh
Joe
yeah, this is
Staley.
cool.
And Joe Staley was talking a bunch of shit to Kyle Shanahan. They're basically about, what would you say, Craig, about 100 feet, 150 feet away, maybe? I mean, it's across the street.
It's a good distance.
It's a good distance. And they had a football, and Joe Staley's like, Kyle, you're not going to make it. You're going to hit a kid. And they have this pizza oven across the way. Yeah, like I said, about 100, 150 feet. And Kyle Shanahan's like, okay, got a couple of adult beverages in him. Chucks it, nails the pizza oven, and they're going ballistic afterwards. It's a pretty cool tweet. And then the last thing I gotta mention, John's Cowboys are going to be on NFL Hard Knocks this year. Great.
That's a shout out. Like,
Yeah.
Gross.
Wow. That
I
seems
feel
like
kind of violated, to be honest.
You just debunked our shout outs. Like,
Wow.
right away.
Can we like maybe get?
All right, let's go ahead and soften this load. Anyways,
Good lord.
I just want to shout out a couple people. Let's see, Jason, our co-host here, for his 78th birthday. It is tomorrow.
That's it.
And he's been around a long time, and like we said in the Jockberty, he's honestly one of the only people in this chat to be able to see a living dinosaur, so it's
You're
pretty
right.
pretty good for him. But really good guy, man. Really happy for you. Is this your 39th?
Yes.
40th is okay. 40th is next year. Okay, so yeah, no, we're really happy for you.
baby.
39th.
Hey, 40 is
right
the new
there.
30 though, so
40 is
that's
the
what
new
they
30.
say.
So hey, it's
What's
all
that
good.
make
You make it
30?
look good. You make it look good. So we want to wish you a happy birthday, and then hopefully you and your family have a good time tomorrow, getting some good grub wherever that may be. And then also
Bet he
wanna
gets a
shout out-
cheeseburger.
yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna go to sushi. Okay, I'll get a cheeseburger.
You right. You right.
And then shout out the Tampa Bay Lightning for winning the Stanley Cup. Like at the end of the day, they were the best team in the league, and they showed it at critical times and clearly dominated when it mattered. So hats off to you guys for winning the Stanley Cup back to back. That's a hard achievement to do. And hopefully the Ducks will be there eventually again in my lifetime. So we'll wait and see. And yeah, so on to you guys.
Not even close.
John, you have any?
I just got one. It's a Twitch stream that I came across that's pretty cool. They break baseball cards on the stream, and it's called No Hitter NGL _hitter. I was watching one, and it was pretty crazy. So like it was $175 to join the drop, and they were breaking first off the market NBA cards. The guy, so it's $175 to get in. There was 10 people who got in, and after all 11 cards broke, whoever they randomize it, and whoever gets number one picks what card they want. The craziest card that came off was a gold LeBron 1 out of 11 card, and people looked up how much it's expected to go for. It was $10,000. So someone who spent $175 just got a $10,000 card. That's like base amount. And it was just the Twitch stream. Like everyone in the stream was going crazy. And it's like something I just like to watch, and I came across and just wanted to shout it out. It's really fun to watch.
That works.
All right. And then a few shout outs really. The first two are just a couple of birthdays that came across, starting with this past Friday, the 2nd. one of our Friday softball teammates, Shauna. She had her birthday, so happy belated birthday to her. And then as well as on the 4th of July, one of our Friday softball teammates, as well as one of Ben and I's tournament teammates, Melissa, she had her birthday as well. So happy belated birthday to both of those ladies there. And then the other shout out I want to do is to a gentleman by the name of Stephen Johns, former NHLer for the Dallas Stars. Not very well known NHL player. He actually only was able to play a total of about 167 NHL games until he was forced to retire. He had what is being called a reoccurring post-concussion syndrome. And so he's forced to retire at 29 years old. And he came out on social media back in June, so last month, pretty much just kind of opening up and just being straight up about how losing the ability to play hockey has really messed with his identity, and it's put him in depression. And basically saying that he was going to go road trip across country rollerblading, and just trying to, I guess basically trying to inspire even one single person, which I think is huge, because mental health is just as important as ever nowadays. And I think for him to just kind of be open about that and just share his journey and whatnot as he did this was really cool. And exactly what his words is, that if I can even inspire one person to climb out of their hole, then that's a successful trip and exactly what I'm aiming for. So, and he just actually completed the trip just a couple of days ago. He made it over across the coast. And just kind of going off of some of the things he's kind of saying that, a month ago I was letting my depression sink me into a point of no return. And it's really scary to say that, but this trip has taught me so much about the beauty of life and happiness. And I'm truly happy for the first time in years. And it's honestly just because of the support and seeing all the responses from the people that he's inspired or touched. So I think that's just a super cool journey. This is a guy that I've heard of him, but I never knew of him, but just a really cool. And I think it's really important to be open about your personal struggles and not to feel like you need to keep those inside. I think it's really big. And I think for him to do that, and it's one of those things, it's domino effect. If you can inspire one person and hopefully they can inspire the next person, and it's you're not gonna be able to help everyone, but to put that effort out there and just be really open about yourself and try and help others, I think it's really cool. So definitely just a huge shout out to him. It's been kind of cool seeing him and then making that a whole journey across. That's pretty neat. So definitely big shout out to him. Cool. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yep. So, but I think that wraps it up from
I have one more shout out. I apologize.
Unbelievable.
I apologize. You did make me remember one that I did forget. It's actually one of our more dedicated listeners. We know him by Tones, but Tony DeAndrea, he had his birthday on 4th of July as well. So that's why it was last week. So it kind of slipped, but I do apologize. But happy birthday. I'm just happy that you got to celebrate another year of fun and craziness. And then hopefully we'll get back on chill. But I just want to make sure I shouted him out because he's one of our more frequent listeners that listens to us weekly. So just got to keep on giving out that support and love.
Cool. Right on. All right. Is there any other last minute shout outs that someone needs to come up with?
Tell him just FYI, you saw that eye roll from Craig, so you hold on to that. All right. You saw
okay. Wait a minute. No. That's not how that went down at all. So, all right. Well, that about wraps it up here from all of us. I will say, I hope everyone had a very safe and fun 4th of July. What was that?
My God.
Oh,
I'm dead.
I was thinking, please tell me that's not what I thought it was. Yeah, it was. So, but wow. Anyways,
That's a good way to end the show.
Cool. Really great way to end it. We had really good shout outs. We had some real important stuff in there, and then you literally crop dusted all over that. Such a dick.
Run that guy.
Well, as always, make sure to give us a follow over at our YouTube channel. That's where you'll find these videos. It's at Sports Bets, but mostly Chaos Podcasts. We got our shows up there. We do those, typically try to do those every week, as well as we got some Jockberry segments in there. If you haven't checked out one of those, definitely give that a look-see. And also our social medias as well. We're on Instagram as well as Twitter. It's at SBBMC_pod. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us your feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys, and any questions you might have, you want answered on the show, we could probably take care of that for you. No charge. So, but
First one's free.
The first one's free. And after that, it's we got to start talking about it. Payments
hike
and
up the
stuff. We
price.
need your credit card number. We got to start, doing a
Last
monthly
for the
statement.
social and
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 we
your
need
dog's
it all.
name.
We need it all. So,
Patreon.
yeah. So this is but also another one to definitely what Ben said too. Also, happy birthday, Jason.
Thank you.
We're really looking forward.
We're just happy to have you here still.
We're looking forward to hopefully having another year with you, blessed on this planet with all of us.
I honestly thought I got up and just smacked you on the back of the head yet.
Right? So
he's in his wheelchair, so he can't really roll over here yet. I locked his wheels.
we got to get out of here. We got to end this thing before it gets off the rails. So everyone,
off the rails.
Peace, love, all the good stuff. Have a
We'll
good
see
night,
where Craig is
good
pregnant
day.
next time.
Have a great weekend. We will see you all right here next time.